Welcome to BonkTable Podcast, episode 59. Woo! Doing this way too long. Anyway, I went to Golden Rhino Games. I played a fantastic bunch of games with a bunch of fantastic people. A bunch of new people, a bunch of old people. But today I have a bunch of guests on. We have Karl, now known as Golden Swanson. We have Peter, who did a fantastic job, as well as Steve, organizing the whole event. As well as Ian from Golden Rhino Games, who hosted the whole thing and did a ton of prize support and even had a giant Golden Rhino cake, what was super exciting and also tasted very delicious. And lastly, we have Johnny Sixquaddle, but he's only running 5 because that Sixquaddle is his cock, or is his cock as big as the Sixquaddle? Got it. All right, please introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
Oh, Lord.
Oh. Hello, I am Apex Chinchilla. My real name is Jonathan. If you didn't get the reference, go watch Unforgiven. It's a good movie. It came up at the event, hilariously.
Karl.
I'm Karl. I don't know. This not being Silver Swanson feels weird, but I guess I got the back-to-back GTs. I don't know. I've been on enough of these. Anyone who listens somewhat regularly should know.
I'm Peter or Seraph PK. Oh, I'm Peter or Seraph PK.
All right, gentlemen. So, Peter got second. Karl got first. I got third. Apex or John, what? You came in like 6th, if I recall.
6th, yes.
Yeah. Steve, who came in 4th, who was gonna be on here, got pulled away for. I believe personal matters, stuff happens. This is literally the next day after, so it's very fresh, all our games and everything. We're going to talk about them, but there is something bigger that I would like to talk about, and I would like Karl to take lead on that, and that is with the new developers for Parabellum. Karl, may you please?
Cool. Yeah, so we had Joel and Jacob, the new devs. They were out there at the event. They came up with Hunter from Parabellum, just because, it was a 40-person event. It's larger than the last couple Adepticons, and it's the second largest tournament in the country ever of Conquest in North America, just behind the 64 at Adepticon. It was really good having them out there, and really, it was good getting to talk to them. And I have to say, you're laughing about it a little bit, but despite the way that their introduction to the community was handled, having really gotten a chance to sit down and talk shop with them, I think legitimately they are going to be fantastic for the game. They won me over pretty wholeheartedly. I am really excited to see what they're doing with the game. And being one of the more people that was a little frustrated and very skeptical with how they were onboarded, I just want to say was dead wrong there, and I'm very much looking forward to see what they do for the game.
No, I 100% agree with you. Like, I was 100% impressed with them coming out, them asking a lot of fundamental questions about the game and specifics that a lot of players were having issue with, and then getting a lot of feedback on a lot of things and doing a lot of the legwork. What I really appreciated, it shows that hustle that everyone talks about, but and they were really open to suggestions as well as just identifying problems and potential fixes, and just being out there was really great because it shows that they are going to be they're going to be the next face / developers of the game. I was happy as well.
Yeah, they were really good to talk to. I mean, they were there pretty much the whole weekend, wandering around, checking out games, being there to talk to everybody there. Really seemed receptive to kind of everybody's thoughts on the games, what people would like to see maybe touched up a little bit. I think they were taking notes in a lot of the conversations, so really, really impressed having actually met them now in person. So,
yeah, I mean, I just from talking to them and kind of understanding their process about why they were there, I really appreciated that they wanted to, reach out and chat with as many people, if not everybody, they could at the event, and kind of really see what the breadth of the Conquest community wants from the game, and try to make sure that everybody is feeling like they're serviced and that they, have a place in the game, that their opinions are valued, and that they really understand what they need to do to improve the game to, keep its longevity as positive as possible.
Yeah.
Excited to see what they do. Sorry.
I'm as well. No, you're good, man. One of the things I was actually really impressed by that like after they started doing it, I did notice is like they talk to all aspects of the game and ask questions about all aspects. So playing at like the core, like the starter box product, so like 1,000 points, and how to improve that experience, and taking suggestions and trying to figure that one out, because that's the entry point for the game, and that has to be more accessible. And I see the issues with that. Like even though like all 4 of us are not in that spot, the entry level for the game has to be as easy as possible to attract new players and growth. They're really interested in that. They're also interested in like high level stuff, like fixing up the tournament pack that's been stale for like the past 2 years. So they were looking at even a large amount of stuff, and we're like hitting on a lot of key issues, what I greatly appreciate out of them. And they were talking to everybody. So this is a big shout out to the brothers. What's their last name? I know there's
Rasmussen.
Joel.
Yeah, I know there's Joel, and then who's the other one?
Jacob.
Joel and Jacob. The J brothers. I don't know, maybe we'll find like a snippy like nickname for the 2 of them. But they're doing a fantastic
Let's not
job.
give them that.
A snippy
Let's not give them that.
J
No,
brothers.
let's get no pseudonyms. No, like they're Joel and Jacob. They're nice guys. Let's I don't know, maybe not make a meme of it.
Peter has spoken. They're Joel and Jacob.
We'll just have to make a meme of Hunter then. Like, is Hunter fair game? Can we
that's
make a
fine.
meme of him?
Yeah,
that's
he can
fine.
be-
Absolutely, I think he would welcome it.
He kind of looks like Tarzan.
Oh God.
He's the one who called me Johnny Sixquaddle because we were talking about Unforgiven. So
Do you have a
He
photo
walks into a
of
room,
Hunter?
Phil Collins starts playing.
Do you have a photo of Hunter, Peter?
I probably do. I can reach out to Ian and get the whole like all the photos they took.
Oh my God, I
There's
gotta.
a Google
definitely-
Drive somewhere.
posted today.
That might be the thumbnail. Hunter
Yeah.
is Tarzan swinging through all the quaddle.
Can Carl be Phil Collins in the background?
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
I love that you have more pictures of Carl than you do of your girlfriend mess.
Oh.
Like, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
We know his true love.
Yeah, it's so wild. I don't know how I accumulated so much Carls.
Oh, we all know.
It's the back photos. Don't tell anyone. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Already falling apart. So
You invited us on. Like, you caused this.
I cause a lot of problems. Everyone knows that. All right. So who would like to talk about Golden Rhino games? Like I'm gonna do my own Bow Report stuff, but I'd like you gentlemen to talk about more of the venue and the event. I really liked it. I want to give a big shout out to Ian. He has a fantastic store. One of the it has a lot of product, really clean, a lot of table space, fantastic staff. There's food there, very high energy. I would go back there easily again for another event.
Yeah, if you don't mind,
same.
if I can start.
Of course, Peter.
I mean, it's my local store. It's been really great to see the community and Ian grow this store. I mean, the tournament coincided with the store's 5th year anniversary. It's this really amazing third space in like the Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Michigan area. Ian has worked so hard to build this community and this store to be this amazing place where people want to come to events and want to spend time there. I'm really proud of everything that he has done. Our community is awesome. I cannot thank them enough for just showing up for this event and just I'm so glad everybody had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give a big shout out to you and Steve. Like, the event ran like so smooth. Like, I think, through 5 rounds with 40 people to be basically on time with what the schedule said. Pretty much everybody there like looked like they were having fun and having a good time. Ian, like, I know part of it was because this like coincided with the 5th anniversary of the store, and it was kind of this big event they wanted to throw. He went above and beyond. Like, he was upbeat, energetic the whole time. It's a great atmosphere. The store is excellent. It's clean. The bathrooms were clean. It's well lit. I mean, because we've all been in like that game store where it's like, do I even want to go in this place? Not the case here. It's fantastic. Like, you guys all of you did a great job.
Thank you.
Carl.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been going there for years. Ian was the shop owner at the Warhammer store before he opened Golden Rhino, and I grew up in the area, so known him for a while, and it's been nice seeing what he's done with the store. And yeah, no, he's passionate about it, good at what he does. Yeah, it's good.
No, I'm glad. All right, so gentlemen, should we get into the meat of the topic here? The games?
Let's do it.
Might as well.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So we're going to go Apex Peter Karl order. Just because that's what I've chosen right now. Apex, you may start with your round one. What were you playing? So first off, you got to tell us what you're playing. And then, yeah, we're going to start with that. What were you playing?
So,
Johnny Six Squaddle.
So I am playing like this half meme flock list. So it's a Speakers with Droon list. You know, you've got the Thunder Chieftain Warlord. It has 2 Wing Lords, 3 Quaddle, and then like Hunting Pack and Thunder Riders. I say it's half meme because this is not a list that is going to like win you a convention, because someone is just going to hand you your ass on a plate with this thing. But when it like works, like when the reinforcements are good for you, you're so mobile. You end up just super weird and difficult in table spaces, and force some weird choices. So my round one was against, I think, one of the locals. There's a Nords player, Jordan. And Jordan was getting back into the game. Like this, I think he had only been playing again for a couple of months. And I got, I believe, 3 birds on 2, and both of my hunting pack on 1. So I had, half of the flock on the table, and then everything on 3. So on turn 3, he was just looking down like this whole wave of birds and dinosaurs. So he just decided he needed to like try to come forward into me. So we got some trolls in. They held a point for a while, but like as soon as you spread out and give it space, the birds can just kind of like fly around and collapse on you and get all their extra shots, because like Quaddle don't brawl, but if they have opportunities to get like their whole package in, it's like, well, here's 6 or 7 shots, here's 6 impacts that I'm getting shock on, here's my 9 attacks. All of a sudden you're doing like 20 attacks with a Quaddle, 22 attacks with a Quaddle. It gets really hard. And that was on Breakout, where it was reasonably spread out for me. So it's just kind of overwhelming him with all of the bird, which is kind of how the list wins. So that was pretty much my round one.
Damn. Well, if I recall, you scored a lot of points, and you didn't let your opponent score anything.
68 in that one. That one was what is it? 68-3. He felt like he had to march charge some trolls in to keep me off of the one like my left side zone. But otherwise, like I said, he was just looking down the table at a whole pile of birds that had positioning. So, and that's how the list wins. If you can either make some smart longer charges or force me, like the scenario forces me into, grinding with you, the list doesn't really do that. But yes, I brought the 5 Quaddle. It's a very amusing list, and it's very fun to play because it's so mobile and flexible. I think it presents interesting challenges to play against often as well, because it does kind of force your positioning to be pretty good. So that was my round one. So are we going like round by round, or do I just keep going?
No, round by round.
We go round by round.
All right. Peter, talk to us about your list and your round one. So what were you playing? And yeah, how's that?
I was playing Nords, as I have been for quite a while. I was running Super Heals, which is kind of a list that revolves around like recursion and healing things back. So I had a Volvo with Ancestor's Blessing in a block of Huskarls, Shaman with Raiders and a Captain, Blooded with Tyokul, 2 units of Trolls, 2 units of Stalkers, a Vargir Lord with Figurehead of Nalfgaard, with Fenner, Golter, and Werewargs. The point of the list is just to be a tar pit while just having a good amount of damage output. I mean, the Werewargs have Flurry and Regen. The Stalkers have Opportunist. The Trolls are, Dread Trolls. They're just a tar pit waiting to happen. The Shaman can turn off shooting to some extent, and can give reroll charges to the Werewargs. Volva heals and blesses stuff as needed. It's a tough list at 14 cards. It's a lot of fun to run, and it's really aggressive. But it also is really great at just sitting back and playing patiently and kind of capitalizing on opponents' mistakes.
Oh, seems like a really fun list. I like it.
Yeah, it is mass. It's crazy.
Who are you playing round one?
I was playing one of our locals. His tag is Carolus Rex. His name's Nick. He's a great guy. I play Battletech with him a lot, actually. He's a pretty new player though. He was running city states, a pretty standard list. Blocks of Phalangites, Thoras, Agama. I don't think he had any chariots just because he hadn't purchased any yet. And then he had a Promethean. So our game started out pretty normal. I had a pretty decent reinforcement curve. I think I missed one light turn 1, came in turn 2, got most of my mediums. I was all in by 3. He struggled a little bit with reinforcements. I played it as Horns of the Bull. He played a decline flank. So I kind of was able to capitalize on his lack of reinforcements and just kind of push up. And then just kind of start collapsing in on stuff and peace trading. The game was great. It ended 75-6. Oh, I should probably say we were playing Breakout. Round 1 was Breakout. So it's a good scenario. A great way to kick off a tournament. But yeah, it was a fun game. I really like playing with Nick. Afterwards, we chatted a lot because we had a lunch break in between, so we were able to just talk for a while, and we kind of went through just some more advanced tactics for what to do with city states and kind of help him in his future games. And yeah, good round.
I have a question for you. How are you currently? So I'm sorry, we forgot to implement the Karl ranking system, so we'll have to jump back to Apex in a moment. But how do you feel about like current city states? Because like if let's say 100k is the baseline, do you feel like city state sits around 100k or like above or below it?
So I think it's below it, and I mean not to just steal Karl's kind of like line about it, but I think Nords and 100 Kingdoms are kind of like the best balanced factions at the moment. And I think if we're looking at like balance in the future, kind of bringing Euroni and SK down to that level, and then trying to bring everything else up to that level. I mean, there's not like a 40k Eldari situation going on. There's nothing like that has like an insane like 74% win rate, but it is like, I mean, SK is insane. Euroni is overtuned. Everything else probably needs a little bit of a buff. But that, I mean, that's kind of without being like a playtester or a real numbers nerd about it. Like that's
good feedback because like I do agree. I feel they're not like bottom tier or anything, but they are under like 100k Nords, as Karl's mentioned before.
I still think they have tools. A good pilot could do really well.
It's directly proportional to chariots. Their entire existence in the meta is basically based around what chariots are doing. Chariots are really basically functionally unplayable against Euroni and other stuff that's got a lot of tenacious against shooting. So they're just in a pretty sad spot there, but they also have a surprisingly good matchup against SK.
Well, yeah, with the chariot, like I feel like they have more tools into SK than they do with Euroni.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's really good.
I mean, all I got out of that was buff dinosaurs. That's all I heard from what that whole thing Peter said was buff dinosaurs.
You know what? You sick monster.
It hurts my soul to say that. I can't agree with you. I'm sorry.
I don't agree with me either, but I'm going to take advantage of that one. Oh, Lord.
X is going to rage bait the shit out of Peter this episode.
Can we troll Peter into oblivion? Oh, okay. So, Peter...
at some point I'll start ranting about WoD.
Well, we'll get there.
That's
what would you rate the matchup? Because we got to use the Karl rating system from 1 to 10.
Karl rating a 7 is a great game. I love playing with our locals. So great guy.
No, awesome. We forgot, John. You have to rate it on the Karl rating system 1 through 10. Your game.
I mean, I'll give it probably a 7 or an 8. Jordan was great. Like he was, he told me kind of up front he was getting back into the game. And like my list is so weird that there's no way to have experience against it until you have played against it, and it just does weird stuff. So he was great. Had a really fun game. I think all of my games were great. Like we had that little sheet to fill out, and it's like, yes, I would definitely play against all of these people again.
Yeah, I agree. Like one of the really nice things I think about the GRG and the whole community and meta in that area is like everyone's just fantastic playing to. Like, so it's just really easy to just keep going for games. Karl, you.
Oh, can I say one thing before Karl started? Sorry. Just so the people that didn't play in the event know, we use chess clocks for the whole event.
Oh yeah.
And I think that really helps with getting people to play efficiently and instinctually and just get rounds done really fast. Like, I think maybe at any round we only had 2 or 3 tables of the 20 go to time.
Yeah, no, that's also a very good one.
It's super handy.
And like the chess clocks, like they didn't take away from anything either. What I quite enjoyed. There was plenty of time at an hour 10.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it can be intimidating if you've never used it, but it's a really useful tool for everybody playing.
Yeah, the clock isn't intended to be a punishment either. Like, if I had someone else, I'm not going to name names, but somebody who usually plays a little bit more deliberately actually say they really enjoyed the clock because it gives them an indicator of how much time they are taking, so they know to move it along. Like, again, it's not intended to be a punishment. So, I this was my first time playing Conquest on a clock, and yeah, I think it just went really smooth the whole.
No, I
yeah.
agree with you.
Our locals, so we do Sunday meetups for Conquest, and we always have chess clocks available if people want to practice on them so they can just feel more comfortable, so it's not as intimidating when they play in an event. And I think that also helps with, newer players.
Like, John and I, Apex Chinchilla and I were chatting on the way over there because we had a bit of driving to do, and it's like, oh yeah, chess clocks, like the old War Machine days. We were super excited.
Definitely. I mean, it's not death clock, right? Like, you don't just lose because you clocked yourself. It's not a punishment the way it kind of was in the old steamroller packets. It's more of a, here's an indicator for how much time you're using. We're going to make sure both players get to actually do their stuff. So I thought it went really smoothly. I didn't hear anybody say they were having struggles with it from anybody, outside of your locals. And a lot of people did travel in. So.
Yeah, it was good. Maybe we should do chess clocks for Adepticon.
I would love that.
I mean,
that would solve so many issues.
Have a conniption, but yeah, it would be real helpful. And you wouldn't have someone taking 4th place because they timed all their opponents out on round 5.
Jesus Christ. All right, Karl.
Yeah.
What did you
So
play?
I will say,
go ahead.
I played a spite list because people who know me know that I love proving people wrong. And basically, there's some people that are bad at the game that say that 100 Kingdoms is bad. Like, yep, they're not SK and they're not Euroni, but bad, like BFFR. So I actually brought, this is the fun one. I brought a 100 Kingdoms army that didn't use dynastic alliances with no models released after fall 2022.
What was released after 20? Jesus Christ! I'm just thinking about it. This is all the originals.
It was the Imperial Rangers
Knights.
were released fall 2022.
Wow.
And those were the most recent models that I played. So I had 2 water mages in minimum expos, an Imperial officer with Art of War in a minimum unit of Ranger Corps, another Imperial officer warlord with the Gilded Rampart and the upgrade that gives +2 to charge on Entourage, and a block of 8 Gilded Legion, and then 2 MSUs of Steel Legion, and 2 blocks of 5 Hunter Cadre.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's a fucking good list.
No, it's bad. 100 Kingdoms are bad.
No, it was it's a good solid foundation. I understand, once you start putting it on the table, I understand exactly what you're doing, and I was like, damn it. Literally, it's just a pilot.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it is.
Yeah. I'm not going to pretend it's easy to pilot, but I would at least rather have people say that playing competitive 100 Kingdoms can be a little tricky if you're newer to the game, running against tough competitive lists. Because that's an actual argument that can be made, but just saying 100 Kingdoms are bad, that's just, it's a stupid thing to say, to be honest.
No, yeah.
But yeah, it's a very fun list to play. And turns out, Yoroni and Sorcerer Kings really hate multiple blocks of Hunter Cadre.
Oh,
so
you mean the
it's
units
real fun.
You mean the units designed to kill brutes and monsters?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why the list has the name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it was our final solution to so it was pointed out to me later, and I've changed the name for all future purposes, but like we were writing stuff basically for hate matchups against Yoroni and SK, and I was like, all right, this is the last solution that we have for it. But yeah, so my round one I played against Tim, who was a somewhat newer player from Golden Rhino, who had Yoroni. This is the only game that I actually used a chess clock for, which is to say I really, really like the chess clocks. It's just every other game I played was against someone who I have played at least once and would consider myself familiar with. And yeah, it felt unnecessary in the other games, but you're playing someone new, especially. It's just kind of good to have just so that everything's above board, but Tim was fantastic to play. He was kind of funny when he heard the matchup, but he was a really good sport about it. He was running 3 blocks. It was like 2 blocks of Kami and then a block of, I think actually Kappa with like an Oni, and he had Daimyo in 1 block, Kitsune in one, and Oyabun in another, a couple Damaru units, and then Dai Yokai, actually. So it's an interesting list. It's a little off meta. Very off meta, actually, I would say.
Is the Dai Yokai the one that does the flashing blade, like anime sword thing?
Yeah, it does the sweeping step.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Cool.
It's a funny mechanic. He didn't use it at the correct time, but he even said that he just wanted to do it, and he'd already lost the game by that point, so it was kind of funny. But, yeah, it was a pretty quick game. I mean, you have to be very cautious with this 100k list because the meat of your list is D1 or E1, and then most of the rest of it is E2. And as we'll get into it, like the D3 Hardened 1 from the Steel and then the D3 Bastion from the Gilded came in clutch a lot. But a lot of my essential pieces are very low defense, and a lot of my early scorers are low defense, so have to be very, very cautious about picking engagements. So I kind of just held back for a little bit. He eventually just kind of march charged his Damaru into me. And, march charging regiments with low impact. Into shooters that have Hunter Cadre with murderous volley on them behind them is kind of a recipe for not great things. Tenacious 2 against shooting doesn't do much against 20 shots at point blank range that cause resolve, so mopped him up pretty fast, and then Gilded Legion came in, did what they did best. It was pretty quick. Never really stressed out about it or on the back foot, but it was a good learning experience for him. He said that the tips that I gave him helped a lot, which I always love to hear, and he went on to actually go 3-2, which I'd like to think my advice helped out at least a little bit with that. So yeah, I'll give it a nice 5, middle of the pack. I'm usually a little more conservative with the rankings.
That's fair. It's your system. No, it's great to hear, and I'm glad that your opponent, after the whole after he played you, did much better. Helps your SOS as well. And I have a quick question about the list. Did you use the Imperial Officer Supremacy in that game, or did you not need it?
I don't remember. I think I used it, but it wasn't really relevant to the game.
Oh, okay.
I could have not used it. But that was more of just stuff was kind of being fed into me, so I was already winning by a lot on the turn that I normally would start to consider popping it.
Okay. No, that's good to hear. So everyone did really well the round 1. Basically no issues. Round 2, because did we Peter, you did a lot of the organization with Longshanks and everything. Was there protected matchmaking? I think there was protected matchmaking round 1. Was there protected matchmaking round 2 as well?
Yes, there was. Just because we had enough people, that way it was just easy. That way as many people could play new player, like people they don't normally play with as possible. Because like it basically was a lot of competent Conquest players, a lot of Golden Rhino com players, and then like there's a bunch of other like smaller groups. So I think our goal, like Ian, Steve, and I, were trying to let the communities kind of get to play together, get to know each other, and meet for the first time in some cases as much as possible. So we did do protected matchmaking for the second round.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense because it's like I do remember like we're all part of that competent Conquest crew or tag on Longshanks so that we don't have to play each other right away. And I noticed round 2 we also didn't play into each other, but we also had a lot of high scores. So I just assumed like you'd pair high scores into each other to like start thinning the pack right away. But I know
after round 2 it was, you know, a free for all. You got who you got on the RNG.
On Mr. Shanks.
Yep, on Mr. Shanks.
Mr. Shanks. All right, Mr. Apex Chinchilla, who'd you get for round 2 of Mr. Shanks? Thank you, by the way, Carl.
So on round 2, I had Spires. I had we played Divide and Conquer round 2. Here, I'll just remember to say that. I got Bill. Bill is from Ohio. I think he's part of like Mercurial Mark's group. So he was playing. He had one of each monster, which I thought was interesting. He had a block of marksman clones, and then just some other clones floating around, and I think like some brute drones with a character in them. I'm trying to remember his list. And it's another weird one for him because like his list wants to be like reasonably aggressive with like the speed on the monsters and the range on the marksman clones, but then you're across the table from nothing but like speed 7, 8, and 9 stuff. So it was a little bit more cagey in the first couple of rounds on Divide and Conquer. We kind of got to a point where like I started to be able to force engagement. So I was able to get a Quaddle into his marksman clones. I think they only got like 2 shots off, and they were into things that were obscured to start with. Before I was able to engage them, he did trade. He traded his A-bomb for a bird, and then I killed it with, I think, Thunder Riders. I was able to chant and get Thunder Riders into his Siegebreaker. So going from D4 to D1 on that thing is really bad for it. Like, it does not have the bulk to deal with Brutal 3. And then I was just able to like push him off of everything and use the birds to get onto all of the zones. So I scored 61 on this one. I don't play very much against Spires and had never seen like the Terraphon. That model is fantastic in person as well. It's a sweet kit. So it was kind of a learning experience, kind of touch and go. And, you know, he kind of mentioned before we started that this wasn't going to be something he was looking forward to because my list does what his list wants to do, just faster. And that's just kind of the way it played out. He had to stay a little bit further back, and I was able to do the thing the flock wants to do, push and swarm. So, yeah, this one was 61 for me.
Damn, nice job, dude.
I'll give this one a 7 again because Bill was super good to play against, and again, almost all of these were kind of like new experience for lists. A lot of things I just don't normally kind of see. So good time.
No, I'm really glad to hear that, and I'm glad you had fun. Yeah, because I believe I chatted with Bill later on, and he's like, "Oh, you played Apex? How was it?" I'm like, "It was good." And he's like, "Oh, I played Apex," and he's like, "Man, that guy just threw a bunch of birds at me." I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of rough."
That's what the list is. Like it's half a meme, but it's a meme that works. So
it has some bite. It does something. No, I'm really glad. Well done on
it's
your.
A very.
Go ahead.
It's a very on-brand list. Like, I never get value out of infantry blocks. Like, it doesn't matter if they're good or not. Like, I never feel like I get value out of infantry blocks. So let me play things that move really fast and reach out and touch stuff. Like, that's what I like. This list is me, like, in a bubble. So, and I think that does go a long way into, like, how you feel about a list and the games you play with it. Like, I like everything in this. I don't have anything where it's like, man, I wish I could take something else here. So it just works.
That's good to hear. I'm well done, man. Well done.
Thank you,
Peter. Who was your round 2? What did they play? And how was it?
My round 2 was Yojimbo, Chris, It was great.
That name sounds
He
awesome.
is like a mid-Michigan player. We've played a few times before at like, you know, local events, and then at Adepticon this year we actually played. He's normally a Spires player. I think he's gotten into the Euroni with a lot of the rest of the community. He's running kind of like small bricks and MSUs of Euroni. He had the classic Kitsune with the trials.
That's the
and
too,
it was great game. Yeah,
okay, cool.
it makes the commie brick incredibly hard to kill. Love seeing that. It was a tougher match to play into. A lot of, I feel like my Nord stuff just kind of bounces off just because of the defensiveness of Euroni. He had a good reinforcement curve. He set up as a declined flank. Was moving stuff up the board. We started engaging and skirmishing. He picked up a couple things, and then it just started collapsing in on him just because I was able to kind of envelop him. And then the game kind of ended. I'm trying to look at the final score. Final score was 68-2.
Damn, pretty good.
Love getting to play Chris. We played Divide and Conquer round 2. I'd rate it a 7.
That's pretty good. Was there anything you were worried about when you were going into the matchup against Chris?
Getting caught by, I was definitely getting caught by something I wasn't expecting, just like a long bomb, like foo turn with either like his commie brick or, you know, just birds doing something I wasn't going to expect. So yeah, just the normal Euroni encounters is what I was worried about. Okay. Just being able to chip through the defensiveness of them.
Oh, that's really good to hear. Well, congratulations on your round 2 win. Karl,
Yes?
Who'd you play into round? Also, you have to answer the question I sent you a DM for.
Oh. Now I gotta look at that.
I'm building the the meme picture as we chat.
Yes!
Let's get it done. Which one do you want to be? You just do left, middle, or right, because I don't know their... Okay, he answered. Red dog. Oh, nice. Okay, and then...
the best one.
You can start talking about your game, because I'm going to DM Peter.
Anyways. But yeah, no. So I played Mark. Great guy. I've played him probably 3 or 4 times now. He's from Cincinnati. Got to know him got to hang out with him a good amount last year and a half or so at tournaments. Great guy. He was playing some city-state stuff. It's just kind of a fun list. He had a couple chariots, some Thoras, a Phalangites brick, and an Agama brick. So it's kind of and a couple Inquisitors. Just a very generic kind of a good city-states list that doesn't want to spam chariots is what I would call it. And more power to him for that one. Basically, we're playing... Oh, God, what was the scenario? Off balance?
No. It was...
No.
Divide and Conquer. There we go.
Yeah, Divide and Conquer. So, basically, I have to play very conservative early on because chariots mulch the shit out of 100k, or out of most of my units. So basically just kind of played the waiting game, used my cadre to set up the plays that I was looking for. The big one was he took a little bit of a risky play with Agama on going into, or end of 3 going into top of 4, and where he moved them forward to try to get a snap out of my hunter cadre to try to kind of break my line. And I was like, just so you know, like Imperial Supremacy, I can kind of do that too. And that's not a fight that if I get that pick off, I just win immediately. And if he gets that pick off, he gets deleted by the Gilded immediately afterwards. But he committed to the aggro play. Just kind of wanted to go for it, I guess. And so, as we've kind of said, poorly positioned units roll worse, so I won Supremacy, basically deleted his Agama, and then just kind of... It was a bit of cleanup from there. But he's a fun guy to play. I'd give it a 7.
Nice. I'm glad. Also, like, yeah, it's like how you played that list. We'll get to our game eventually. I'll talk about one of the big compliments I gave Karl is that he builds his deck really, really well. And it's really efficient because he's already like figuring out what his opponent's doing, and he has a card ready right after they've done that thing to like punish that. And he has like very little inefficiencies, I would say, in his deck building. What was like something I really noticed when playing Karl in person, and so like he just builds decks really well. I just want to get that out there. All right, thank you. So then we get into round 3, and now protections come off. Did any of you guys play a fellow competent Conquest player round 3, or is it just me?
I did not.
I think just you. We still had 10. There were 7.
I technically did. Yes, Will is a competent Conquest member. Sorry, my bad.
No, that's okay, man.
Right, because there were 7 of us, and there were 10 undefeateds at the end of round 2, and 7 of them were competent players.
Yeah, so now we're gonna start eating each other. All right, so Johnny Sixquaddle, who was your round 3, and what scenario did we play?
So we played Melee, and I actually got the Woodrune match, a faction I know how to play against. I got to play against Mr. Sunburn Infinity, who had traveled in from Rhino. So it was nice to meet him in person. We've interacted a fair bit on the Discord. I believe he is a Vanguard out there. Super nice guy. He was playing a more tribes-focused list, kind of what he just had painted and available. He was one of the fully painted people, I believe. And I think he played a game on stream. And he was coming off of a tie in round 2. He had, like 2 units of Hunters. He had a Slingers with a Predator. He had a big block of Vets with a Chieftain in it. He had an Apex Queen. I think a couple of units of Warbred in there. I'm trying to remember his list from memory. So this was kind of one where I was able to have a little bit of terrain, have a little bit of the loose formation with the hunting pack to mitigate his early shooting, and then start pushing birds into things. He pushed his vets into the middle pretty aggressively and was chanting Conquest on them for E3 and Blessed, and then trying to heal them up from behind with the Queen. And then I think on it might have been turn 4 I won Supremacy. It was 5 because we were already engaged. Turn 5 I won Supremacy and had some Thunder Riders, my non-character unit of Thunder Riders, chant War and just be able to inspire Clash, and did a ton of work into vets because D1 vets just don't, survive that well. So I scored 95 on this one. I was able to clean him up, I think, on maybe round 8, and then finish out the scenario points-wise with quite a bit of the flock left, mostly hurt, but it's hard once you start getting birds into, like, Woodrune ranged because they're all D1. It's pure wounds. So even if you only get 4 or 5 hits with a Quaddle on the 3s, that's like a stand and then resolve. So it's just able to kind of wear him down in that regard. And we talked about it a little bit afterward, as far as maybe using the vets more as a support and switching out to something like Braves because you can afford so many more of them, and then you can kind of not have to go wide because of the supporting attacks. As far as having like a big infantry block in Woodrune, because that's not necessarily a list I think is super common in Woodrune right now. I think you see a lot more speakers and then maybe a tribes list here or there. Definitely a good guy, very interesting to talk to afterward to get another perspective from somebody outside of the Midwest on Woodrune. Definitely give that one an 8 as well.
I'm glad. Was there anything, like, when you played Sunburn, was there anything you were afraid of or, like, worried about when you guys were playing? Like, you were just...
So,
or did you
for
just
whatever
feel like you
reason,
had good control over the course of the game?
I have a lot of experience into very specifically Nords and Woodrune. where I get to play, like that's just massively common factions. So I have played this list into Wadroon, like this was my 4th game into it. So there's just little things like I kind of know how some of this is going to work out. Like you can shoot a stand of Warbred out of a regiment with birds fairly quickly because they'll be on D2 after the AP. And like once you get into a block of hunters or slingers, they just melt, and you're fast enough to do it. So if you can weather the 1 or 2 turns of shooting you're going to get, you'll be okay. And then it's just like making smart trades so that, you know, when they bring forward something bulkier like a Tantor, you know, you've got the Chieftain Regiment, the Thunder Riders ready to come in because, you know, they'll do a ton of work into it. So it's just kind of that sort of thing. So this is one of the matchups I actually feel pretty comfortable with.
No, I'm glad to hear. Okay, so
well, that was
now
me though. Like,
yeah,
you know,
back to Apex. Wrapping up your game. Nice. Didn't have to worry about anything because you're already playing into a ton of stuff.
Yes, one I was comfortable with, which was kind of nice. So I went through. We finished day 1 at round 3. Fortunate enough to be in the 3-0 group with most of the rest of y'all. My goal for this was to go 3-2 because I'm kind of out of practice a little bit. So to meet the goal on day 1 was like super relaxing for day 2. So I was pretty happy with that.
Glad, man. Were you? Well, we'll get into. We'll wrap up day 3, and then day 1, and we'll talk about like kind of impressions and everything before we get into day 2. What would you? And you did rate the game, right?
Yes, 8 because I'm gonna rate them all based on opponent, and everybody was great to play. So except for my round 4 opponent, and we'll get there.
Oh boy, this fucking guy. All right, Peter, you're up. Who did you play?
Yeah, my round 3 was into Will, another competent Conquest member. He's one of our locals as well. I love getting to play against him. Unfortunately, as we were starting the game, Will had a medical emergency and had to leave for the day. But he didn't want to drop from the entire tournament. He was hoping he was going to be able to be back for the next day. So he conceded our game as we were about to start. So mine's pretty quick. I'll give Will a 9 just because of our history of playing games. Because we play pretty often because he's a local. But yeah.
No, it's sorry to hear that, Will. He did show up the second day, so he did get to play like 2 more games. So I'm glad he came back. Medical emergency didn't take him out of the whole event, and he got to enjoy the rest of it. What's really good, and like stuff like that happens.
And he kicked ass on day 2. So
did he get 2 wins?
Yeah, he won both of his games.
Fuck yeah!
He got me in 5. He got me in round 5.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking day 1. Yeah, no, he won 3-2. My bad.
Yeah. Still, really, really good score, especially out of 40 people. No, good job, Will. Him and I haven't played a game, but every time I've chatted with him, he's a super nice guy. Super great to talk to about the game, and he seems to be playing at a very high level, what we all quite enjoy. So I want to give big props to Will. All right, well, Karl, who was your round 3?
My round 3 was Eric B from Golden Rhino.
How was that? Tell us about the game.
So I think he was the only SK player there.
He was.
And he had a strong list. It was a little bit off meta because he was mixing courts a little bit, but he had Maharaja mounted on a Bahoot, Warlord with Court of Earth and Court of Air, and then he had the normal Raj with he had the Raj bow to the elements and sword dancers, another dancer, 3 flame casters, another Raj in a unit of Mahabharati, and 2 units of Steelheart. It's SK. It's terrifying to play into almost no matter what. His actually can do double, triple actions every turn because He can do one with air and one with fire, and that piece of tech is pretty nasty. He can heal his elementals better with the Mountain Maharaja on the Mahout, including healing the Mahout itself, which is also terrifying because that thing just kind of doesn't die. And we're playing on melee, where I have a lot of cards that are very fragile, and it is the highest threshold scoring kill point mission, and I have to go wide because scoring's important. So this was a really scary matchup. This was, if I'm going to be honest, this was probably the scariest matchup going in. It's just kind of lock in, play the game, and wait for your opponent to make a mistake. I had Hunter Cadre come in on my close zone. They had cover. I had the other Hunter Cadre on my far right flank. In the other piece of forest that I had. The chapter mages were supporting the cadre. I had the ranger corps on the far left side to sneak the point, leaving room for the gilded to come up kind of between the cadres. And basically, I just started moving stuff on and waited for an opening. And he, I think, is unfamiliar playing into 100k infantry. To be honest, I think almost everyone is, because it's not very common, because people really just kind of double down on the knights. So
a lot of theist lists running around.
True. So he tried to dive into my Hunter Cadre that were in full cover next to a water mage. So he march charges them, he march volleys them. Wipes a stand, I immediately heal it back, and then I just aim volley, return fire him, and it's Hunter Cadre with aim volley into flame casters. They literally they did 12 or 13 wounds, because I basically hit with almost everything, and then he did not roll super great on his saves, so that was definitely rough for him for sure.
Wow. So Hunter Cadre paying for themselves already in multiple matchups.
Yeah, Hunter Cadre are basically kind of they're the hate piece for the thing that my list is concerned about, so of course they are going to be getting a lot of value for me. But it was very, very evident how strong they were in these matchups for sure. After I kind of got that early pick, he was kind of reeling from that. I would say that one of the hallmarks of a good player, and something that I was really impressed with, is knowing when to basically double back on a commitment. So he actually, after losing the Flamecasters early the next turn from the Chapter Mage and her shooting, and her Expo's shooting, he basically backed off his Flamecasters and made me kind of start to move up to him, which is really good because it meant I had to start putting things further up on the points to engage him when they're still within threat range of his rituals. It was still very much anyone's game at that point. What really flipped the decider for me is when I got my first real usage out of the Gilded, and they were played a huge role in every matchup or in every round for the rest of the tournament. But here they basically took the Entourage Charge Clash and did a lot of wounds to the Mahout, and then on that following turn, and between them, the shooting from the Expos and the shooting from the Hunter Cadre, I was able to blast the Mahout off the table before it was actually able to activate or do anything.
Nice.
And that was his Warlord. That was a lot of help. That's basically when the game turned to my side. And then the only mistake he made on that opposite flank was probably not realizing just how fragile the Imperial Ranger Corps were. Because he took a March Charge Clash from the Steel Hearts into the Ranger Corps, of course deleted them immediately, and then followed up with Flamecasters onto the Steel Legion that had countercharged and killed his Windborn. If he'd actually done that in the reverse order, and used the Flamecasters to torch the Ranger Corps, and then used the Jin to Charge Clash the Steel Legion later on, then he's actually a much better position, and he can win that flank a turn faster than he did. Because what happened basically is he still won that flank. I just won my flank harder and was able to turn around and start bringing my gilded in after I'd cleaned him up.
By the way, that gilded.
But yeah, overall, I would give this game a 8 or 9. He's a very good player, and he's had me on the ropes early on, and definitely would play again.
Damn, that's good to hear. What the fuck am I doing here? No, that's good. So that is the end of day 1. I just want to pop in here. So Kang and I played a game on stream. I'll link the timestamp for it on the GRD stream if anyone would like to watch that. I also do my own Val report on it, but I played Kang, so we started, the competent guys started getting into it. But I just wanted to give it was interesting playing on stream, but also kind of nice and fun. But anyway, what did you guys think of end of day 1? How was everything? Good?
I felt good finishing up 3-0. I was not especially surprised. I think that even playing a little off meta, the worst I was reasonably expecting was 4-1. But it was definitely a close game and was really fun.
I'm glad to hear. But so Karl, was there anyone because we know you're a very good player, was there anyone you were worried about when you were going in, when you saw who was there and what they brought?
So John and I had kind of joked about it beforehand because my list actually matches hilariously well into his, because I sent him a gif of a fucking anti-aircraft gun, because the Hunter Cadre are actually might be the worst thing on the planet for Quaddles, because the Quaddles can't shoot them because they get outshot, but they also can't charge him because the Quaddles charge the Hunter Cadre. The Hunter Cadre are okay, and they just pull out cleavers and basically one-shot it in melee.
Oh yeah, 4 is rerolling.
Yeah, I actually wanted to play the game. I would have loved to play that to see just how terrible it
would have been. So fun.
You sent me that list, and it's the sort of jank that works list that hits me in the feels. And then you sent that gif of the anti-aircraft gun. I was yeah, that's about what's gonna happen. So no, I wish we would have gotten to play, but I had to.
It definitely would have been a fun matchup. But yeah, I think
it would have.
Peter with super heals, I think, is the only thing that I lose to there. To be honest, just because we didn't have. I think Eric's list was good and it used a lot of tech, but I don't think it's the raw strongest SK list. Same thing, I don't think the Euroni players were bringing the raw max strength Euroni, and then those are some tough matchups for sure. In general, I think super heals was the only thing that I think probably might have been advantaged in our matchup, because, of course, all that evasion 2 is real good when my army is basically running on all cleave 1.
Yeah. No, it sounds great. What, Peter, what did you think of end of day 1?
I thought it was a great day. It was just good to see everybody there. Glad it went off smoothly. We had a decent amount of judge calls. We were split into 2 locations just for anybody that wasn't there, because there was the main store and then the event hall, which is a door down. And so having to split and move around and make sure everybody, had all the questions answered they needed to, happened. Unfortunately, because we didn't have on-site TOs, anytime a judge ruling needed to be made, Steve, Karl, Mass, Kang from Grand Rapids, Apex, or Mark from Cincinnati, some of the 3 of us would get pulled to make a call, just because we were all players and it seemed it was the most ethical thing we could do. So unfortunately, some of the games had to be paused occasionally on the chess clocks just to make rulings for other tables.
So how relieved were you that day 1 went well? Because your name is on this in Longshanks, Peter. How stressed were you going into?
I mean, Steve and I were sweating it. Just getting everything off the ground, making sure everybody was checked in. It's the largest event that I mean, I've been to like Adepticon and stuff and played in that, but it's the largest event that I've like run with people. It was stressful. I don't envy larger tournament TOs. I'm really grateful that we had like Hunter there, and like Ian's support was insane. Having the brothers there just wandering in case questions came up, because like there were times when like no one could be pulled from a game, so Hunter and the brothers tried to help as much as they could. I think just having all of the communities that came in kind of work together to try to make everybody's experience as good as possible really was kind of like a balm to the nerves, because man, getting 40 people checked in, we had some drops the night before, so like getting our ringers that we had, like the people signed up on the wait list, making sure the wait list people were signed up and signed up on Longshanks, and all of that was chaotic. So I'm very glad that it went as smoothly as it did.
No, it's good to hear, man.
So do we get to give Jeff a hard time?
Oh, 100%.
We need to give who a hard time?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh, you mean yeah? Because he wouldn't. I mean, not to throw him under the bus, but
No, throw him under the
messaging
bus,
us
it's
at
funny.
11 p.m. being like, "Oh, sorry, I got the week wrong. I requested the wrong days off." Like that gave Steve and I a fucking heart attack. That was
Mass and I stopped by the store on Friday after we got into Michigan, and Steve was there kind of working on setting some stuff up in tables when that happened. And just, you know, if you've ever met Steve, like Steve's facial expressions, like they all look about the same, but they all tell you a lot, and you could just see the life leave his eyes when he was reading those messages from Jeff. It was fantastic.
It's so funny. I got some good Steve photos.
It really does convey so many emotions with so few changes in his facial expressions. That's why we meme him all the time.
We got a grin out of him at the end. There is a picture of him with an actual smirk.
That makes me so happy.
Hopefully someone captured it.
Can we shout out Steve? Like genuinely, like he started our local community. He has grown it into this giant, like just cross-state community. He puts in so much work. Like he's gone down to Toledo to help get their stuff off the ground. He goes to as many events within like a 4-hour driving distance as possible. He is like the GOAT of Michigan Conquest. He is
what a Vanguard should be.
Yeah, he's undoubtedly the best Vanguard I have ever met.
I love Steve. Not romantic.
He's going to be all embarrassed now when he hears this. Because it's Steve.
He should.
He's just be like, "Oh, guys, thanks for remembering me."
Should I talk about the Igor?
I was gonna say, would you call him Sexy Eeyore?
Yeah, Kang sent me photos of Sexy Igor. It's so bad.
Igor or Eeyore?
Eeyore.
Eeyore, the thing from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
sexualized.
Steve's general demeanor just makes me think of Eeyore, and I made the comment after one of our rounds was done to Mass and Kang that we should change his profile picture on the BonkTable Discord to Sexy Eeyore, and Mass said, "I'm not going to Google that," so we basically just made Kang Google Sexy Eeyore. It
was very funny.
I mean, there's certain things you just don't want in the search histories.
That's why we made Kang do it, because we figure his search history was fucked up already.
Yeah.
You know what? That is the safest call that I have ever seen.
Kang has sent me stuff, and it's like, Karl can never see this. It would break him. And I'm like, yes, it would break Karl. That's why I made him do it.
Oh,
I
no.
don't want to get that deep.
Because this is Mass, who has more photos of me than apparently his girlfriend.
Sure, damn straight.
Oh, Lord.
Well, one of the things I want to do is like replace, do a Doom, like with the Doom guy fighting all the demons, but replace it with all the different photos I have of you as the demons. I have to sit down and do that at some point.
Well, I'm sure you'll get more at Hios and in Athens too.
You damn straight. All right, well that's good. Day 1, very successful. So, day 2, we did not pull an Adepticon. Well, it was very good, and post pairings early, and then have a bunch of drops. and instead had it.
Wait,
actually...
you mean that people can drop between day 1 and day 2, and you shouldn't post the pairings live at the end of day 1 so that people have their matchups planned going into day 2? And then when someone drops, then everyone's like, wait, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Ideally, no, as it turns out.
That's crazy. That's never happened before at a major GT, right, guys?
Never.
I do have to say, this is not... I don't want to throw a ton of shade Parabellum's way. But yeah, I think a lot of... But I will say both of the events that I have been to, both of the large GTs of similar scale to previous year's Adepticons, have been run, I think, much more smoothly than Adepticon. That was Adam Halleker's event at Slice and Dice back in June, and this Golden Rhino one. We love Dan so much. He tries his best, and stuff keeps happening that shafts him. But yeah, no, Parabellum should take some notes from the local communities.
Good. Sweet. So we're going into day 2. And I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing here. Cool. Apex Chinchilla.
Round 4 is off balance.
Sweet.
So
Who'd you get?
round 4 is off balance. Well, so before we get to there, so day 2 started a little bit later, so Mass was able to introduce me to some of his people's culture, because we went to Timmy's beforehand, which I have never been to a Tim Hortons because I'm from rural Iowa, so that was amusing, and just an amusing point out here. So Mass and I rode in. Well, Mass drove down from Canada to Iowa, picked me up, stayed here, and then we rode in together on Friday, which is the same thing we did last year at Michigan GT, when we infamously got sweaty in the truck together. This year the truck was not quite so sweaty, but last year we played in round 4 at Michigan GT, and this year we played at round 4 at GRG. So Mass and I played on off balance. He was able to get some revenge on me from last year. He won this one 28-20. You tabled me on 9, because I was hiding a single stand of Thunder Riders like behind a building to score me some extra points just to get my VPs. So this is kind of one of the downs. What?
Sounds about right.
What was that? Yeah, so this is kind of one of the downsides to the Quado list, is that Mass immediately diagnosed exactly what he needed to do to make this really hard on me, because I kind of jammed myself up a little bit, and then Mass was just like, well, I've got rerollables and it's only a 4. We're going to put this in there and this is going to be awful. And rerolling and needing a 4 is still a 55% success rate, and that happened. So then I'm jammed up and on the back foot and couldn't get attacks where I needed to get attacks, and between just trading his goal tier throughout the game, and I think one of his troll bricks, and then plinking in the sides with these stalkers, with Opportunist, was just able to chew through birds. I think I lost 3 or 4 birds in really fast. One turn,
I killed 3 birds.
Then, yeah, they just kind of melted under the weight there. There was kind of a building that cut off my left. So the zone on my left, and I was able to control that most of the game, but between just him being able to take over the other zone and get to objectives and just finally kill me off and score both for a couple of turns, he took that one down 28-20. I have several complaints to make as far as my rating here. Since we have the tournament organizer, Mass definitely objectified me the whole event. It was totally unreasonable.
Sorry. What awful things did I do to you during that whole event? Especially when we were alone.
You did definitely slap my ass and tell me to shake it a couple of times. That actually happened.
I made him dance out on the
Mass
sidewalk.
And I are friends this. You did. Mass and I are friends. This was within reason. It's sort of a joke with my wife that she'll refer to Mass as my lover. So when I told her that he won that game, she literally replied, your lover has spurned you. But no, Mass is always a great game to play into. So I'm gonna give it a 10. I give it a 10.
Oh yeah, I'm glad, because thank you. I'd also give our game a 10 because we just had a ton of fun. But one of my big goals when we were going to that game and you gave me that opportunity was I'm gonna fuck these birds to death, and I did.
Yeah, I mean it's the right play. Like if you let that list, and I played it too far forward. I should have played a little further back, spread out a little further. Remembered I'm super mobile. I gave you those opportunities. You capitalized on them. At one point when we were talking to Hunter and the Rasmussen brothers, I think it might have been Joel asked kind of the group like, what makes good Conquest play, and my immediate thought was, and what I said to him was minimizing your own mistakes and capitalizing on your opponents. And I made mistakes, you capitalized on them, and it just, were able to just grind me out of that game.
Oh, thank you. No, it was a really good game. There was like moments of like, what am I gonna do? Because like we've talked about it the entire car ride up of like what's going on with your list, and one of the big ones was like some of your key tech or like tech. I want to say your tactics, because like strategy is your grand overall what you're doing, and your tactics is the little stuff. One of your tactics you have that is to like fly one of the birds into the back line, and I had a golder sitting around in the back line where my like nice squishy stuff was, just to be like ready to hit you if you decided to do that, to protect them and force you into different plays, because I knew that was coming.
And I actually wanted to do it at one point, like because your trolls were a little bit in front of the stalkers, and I thought, well, if I just dive those stalkers, it's going to put your trolls in a really weird, awkward spot because they can't really turn then. But yeah, you had like the protection gold tier squad over there, just like waiting for that. And it's like, I don't really want to give it away this early, and I probably should have just made the play. But again, I probably should have just been a little further back, leverage that I do actually have a ton of shooting, play a little wider where I can try to sweep with something. But that was a really interesting game. Like I would love to play this game a few times and just kind of see where we learned each other's lists a little bit.
No, I agree. There's like a bunch of little things I think we both could improve on that game. Like like one of the things I was doing was like on my ride back was I was listening to like Kang and I's game on like the stream, and like noticing like, oh, I remember doing that. Like he got away with his warbread from my Sea Outnar, and we're like chatting with it, and like I could have just angled better. Like a lot like stuff like that. There's like little things of like positioning that can just be done better to make a lot of things smoother as board states develops to kind of catch stuff. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like so yeah, overall it's a really good game. I liked it. I agree, a 10. And we played, what did we play? We played Breakout? No, Off Balance, yeah.
Off Balance, yep.
Yeah. But for myself personally, I think is one of my weaker scenarios. Hey.
I like Off Balance, except for that the middle friendly objective always kind of feels like it's just a little bit in the way. Like, and I don't know, like sometimes the friendly objectives just feel like they kind of block you off awkwardly because they're basically like pseudo impassable because you can't land on them.
Yeah,
but what do you do?
Yeah, I know. There's times where I'm like, well, I was talking to the brothers about that actually, about objectives, and it was kind of like, look, if you want objectives, just put them on the middle line, on the 24-inch line. I think if you do want to keep objectives, that's the best place to put them, because you block up too much positioning with them further back, and especially on the 18-inch line, you take up a lot of premium spacing. It's just how I feel about it, and I just find them kind of annoying. And also some of the abilities or upgrades are just auto-killing an objective marker while another person has to work for it, and if they just roll bad, they could be stuck in that objective for like 3 or 4 turns. Like, hopefully not that long. But
yeah.
I've been stuck on an objective for like 3 turns before, and it sucks.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Apex. Peter, who'd you play round 4?
I played Rain, another one of our locals. I think one of 2 Dweg players at the event. It was a good game. He used those off balance objectives to protect his Dweg castle. Actually, it was a really nice play on his part. Because it meant that I had to kind of chew through an objective to be able to hit him in the flank with one of my horns. He was playing Raygoons on a list that Mass is very, very familiar with. He had a bunch of fun with it. He had a pretty good reinforcement curve, so he was able to kind of get that castle in place. Jesus Christ, Mass.
It's perfect in every way. By the way, I have just finished building the meme, and Peter has just seen it. I hope you guys
love it. Oh Lord!
There's no efficiency in the BonkTable household.
Oh Lord!
Put that in memes in BonkTable.
It's so
or
good.
Karl chat.
It's so no, fuck that. I'm dropping that. That's getting dropped hot in memes.
I'm saving that, Mass. That's amazing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You could post that to like the international if you really want to. I don't care.
You know, I was gonna post the three of us to my Instagram, but I'm doing this instead.
Well, have you noticed that the log is the fucking koala?
You gotta make Steve at the top be the Grand Admiral.
Oh,
Or the Admiral.
Oh fuck. Wait, hold on. Do I still have it open? I do. I do. Okay, which one's the Grand Admiral? Is he the guy standing on the left of the two guards over? I think that's Ace. It's been a while since I've seen
Yes,
the
it's
taller
Ace.
one.
Yep.
Okay, so he's the guy with the weird little like jester hat thing. It's hard to see. Okay,
Yeah.
I will. I can make Steve. No, that's just Steve's. Like, okay, hold on. Yes, please continue.
Have it be the one that Steve's actually smiling. Let's get a smiling Steve pic in the meme.
Oh my god, I have the one of him like, Jesus Christ, Kang soon, where it's like half his face. I don't know if I have one of him smiling. I have like, I call it aggression, and I have him with the drink, but it's not him smiling. Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh no.
Where's Peter? Peter has everybody. Yeah, no, I think I need to go into GRG. I'll find it. You could please continue talking. I will find this.
Okay. So yeah, I played Rain. He deployed as a decline flank, castled up pretty well. He sent one unit of flame casters to try to tie up one of my horns early. And he played it really safe as a good counter charge. So it kind of kept me busy for a while. Unfortunately, he was a little cautious with moving forward, so it meant I was able to just start getting on the points really early. So unfortunately, our final score was 56-0. It just kind of started. I just started to grind down and hit stuff from the side, and then just start trapping his ranged units with trolls. And once that kind of happened, it just kind of became an attrition. Like, how could he break through the bricks of healing? Could he, just kind of leverage his ironclad when it came on? And unfortunately, by the time the ironclad was able to charge some of the trolls, the game was pretty much decided. But it was a great game overall. Like Apex, I am rating the games on the players. So definitely an 8 out of 10. It was a great game. Great player.
No, I've heard very good things about Rain. I also didn't Rain did very well, if I recall, in the tournament, even with Dwagholm. Like, Dwagholm's a tough faction to do with right now, but it still has some oomph in it, and you still have to be careful. You can't disrespect it and just kind of play whatever. You still have to respect Dwagholm.
Yeah, Rain was in the I mean, you know better than anybody how rough of a spot Dwag's in right now. Rain was in the top 20. He was 18th. He was 2-2-1. He was one of the ties.
Nice. Sweet. Good job, Rain. And you got you have 4-0, so you're going to be going on to either the pair down or the top table. And that gets us into Karl. Karl, who did you play round 4?
I had Steve. I got the Steve matchup.
I found it. We now have the Steve smiley face. Well, please continue.
Yeah, so this was Steve was playing a little bit of a variation of one of our just top Euroni lists. It had a couple bricks, and the Spider Lady, and 3 Damaru, 2 Ayakashi. The problem was the other contender list name for the list that I played was This Machine Kills Euroni. It was very much designed to be... So one of the things that you have to realize if you are playing the game on a competitive level at the moment is the raw power that goes into that fucking Uroni brick, the Tenacious 2 one, and that thing is miserable to fight, and it is miserable to try to kill. So the Gilded Legion brick is basically built to deliver an ungodly number of Cleave 1 hits, supported by the Hunter Cadre, which actually have enough volume because of Fiend Hunter to break through, in many cases, that Tenacious 2 and actually get wounds to stick. So basically, Steve, I think he played it well. He likes to beat himself up about stuff, but he played it better than he expected. Oh, speak of the fucking devil. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hello.
We're talking.
He joins us.
I'm on a
He
phone
sounds so
speaker,
happy.
so I'll sound worse than usual, but with less cutouts. So you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the big one was I won Advantage Supremacy on turn 4 and did the Super Gilded move. Ripped through a lot of damage onto that Kami brick, and then I was, of course, not able to kill it because nothing's really killing that in one shot, but I was able to cripple it to the point where the shooting from Expos and Hunter Cadre were able to finish it off. I would say Steve's deployments were pretty tight. The only thing that I would have done differently is have the Yorigumo be less of a sitting back support piece and engage a little bit more. And then we talked about it after, but going for a double duel shenanigan. Because he could have basically the weakest part of the Gilded Legion regiment is the Imperial Officer. Like, if there's a critique for that overall, it's the Imperial Officer actually wants to be in no regiment at all. He's kind of a detriment to whatever he's in.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
there's a way to double duel the Imperial Officer out, because after losing Supremacy and taking a lot of damage, knowing that it's still going to take a lot to chew through the Kami, if he activates the Kitsune and declares a duel, I will, of course, decline it, but that means that when his other brick with the Oyabun charges it later in the turn, the Oyabun can then duel him out, and he'll basically one-shot the Imperial Officer. It'll get Warlord. It'll mean that the Gilded will actually kind of start taking Resolve damage, because Resolve a Million and Oblivious also start contributing towards break factors. But really, he played it well. Again, the list was very much a hate matchup. And even still, the Gilded literally living on 1 the following turn was really kind of what cinched it. And we called it after that. If they died... Yeah, if they had actually died there, then he does have a chance of just still shoving through, just because Uroni are that nasty. But overall, I'll give it definitely 8.5, leaning towards 9. It was a good game. It was fun. He played it well, and it's a little sadistic, but it's nice seeing the hate list that I brought doing its job.
It was my fastest game that tournament.
I think it was also my fastest.
I know round 4 Peter split the top tables between the 2 halls, so that there was rules. There were people who understood rules to answer stuff for people nearby, because I don't think the brothers showed up early, so I think that was a smart decision out of you, Peter, to make sure that stuff also flowed really smoothly.
Yeah, for clarification, all I did was I moved I moved the table numbers so that way we had enough Vanguard coverage between the 2 halls. So I wanted to make sure, because Ian was extra busy that day because he was dealing with 5th anniversary stuff. We just needed to have some more coverage over there, so that way if rulings needed to be made, we had responsible people to do them.
And also, as was probably already mentioned, but there's also the whole streaming table requirements, so had to tiptoe around that.
Yeah, the requirement for being on the streaming table was obviously you had to consent to being on stream, and then you had to have a fully painted army. So
it was fun. All right, yeah. So Peter, Peter, Karl, and I are all 4-0. We're going into round 5. Apex, you get paired into, I believe, Will, if I recall correctly. And
yeah, I got Will.
We're playing Maelstrom. What I've been told
Yes,
by some other players, that is fundamental Conquest. Like, this is the fundamental scenario.
Yeah, I'd agree with that
Fundamentally terrible if you ask the Germans.
I like Maelstrom.
So
I think it's a. I mean,
it's one of my favorite scenarios.
So I was
It's
I was talking to some of the Germans about that, and it's like they played a lot of War Machine, and it reminds them of Three Flags from War Machine, and that it's like, and that was one of my issues with it, like for quite a while, because like I'll be really honest, I did not like Maelstrom for quite a while. It's grown on me.
So the fundamental problem with Three Flags is that you could just get screwed when you picked the wrong flags and your flag disappeared. Like Maelstrom doesn't have that as a problem.
But they did update it so all 3 flags stayed.
Yeah, and then the scenario was a lot better. But I mean, I'd almost call it a basic scenario. Like it's kind of tests your game knowledge and your ability to play scenario. It's there's not a lot of bells and whistles. There is kind of the oddity of like which zones are getting you bonus points, because I think that this is the one where it changes partway through, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, I like the scenario.
The big thing is you can't. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just, you can't overly commit to the middle point as much as you'd want to, because even getting those extra points the first couple turns means that if you're kind of doing a wedge, you will get majorly outscored by someone who's got both of the flanks. I'm only bringing that up because that's a mistake I actually kind of made at Adepticon that we talked about in that podcast, so I guess that's a plug to go listen to that one.
Listen to the old ones, they're still good.
So, they are. I mean, most of the podcast, like the kind of the tactical stuff, stays if you can envision it in your head. So I played Will. Will is one of the competent guys. He's playing Euroni. I gonna say it's a fairly it's not super super efficient Euroni, but I think it's kind of the standard kind of mostly competitive. He's got Heal Spider, he's got 2 blocks, but he's gone Kami instead of an Origami Warriors, and then he's got like a bunch of Bowbirds and I think 2 Domaru. And this is kind of one of those like quintessential dice games where like things happen that were way outside of like expectations and made this really hard on Will. He only got his character regiments in for mediums on 2, so he had the spider and the 2 Kami blocks. He didn't get any of his birds, and then on 3 he had 2 units of sword birds and 1 of bow birds, just little 2-man, and the only thing he got on 3 was the bow. So his sword birds didn't even come on until 4. Which is way too late against a list that puts as much pressure out as mine does. He did some really interesting plays that I think kind of highlight some of the jank stuff you can do with Euroni. Like he brought on his Fu Kami block with the Kitsune, and they had fluid formation, and he fluid formation at the end of his activation to go super wide and twisted them into the zone. To score some early points, which I thought was neat, because you expect that block to be able to absorb some punishment. It did open up his flank a little bit, so when my Thunder Riders came in, I just put a block up that side of the table to aim for that flank he had to expose to make that little play. So maybe a little too aggressive with it, but also he kind of felt like he needed to be. And then this game just kind of fell apart because I was having a regular Quaddle, not a Wing Lord, just killing off a whole stand of Kami when they attacked. I think we traded out the Domaru and hunting packs, so those were both gone. He failed to heal with the spider one turn, he just failed to heal. And then he put his other Kami block into a Wing Lord and killed it, but that opened up me charge clashing it with my character Thunder Riders. I was in terrain, so I didn't get my impacts, but I'm just able to put a ton of attacks. Thunder Riders will do work with just their clash with the character. It's 22 attacks and then the 8 tramples. And where that pinned him into place, I was able to get my Apex into the flank of that and just kind of chew through them. And he used sword birds to attack the flank of my Apex and left it on 1 health. And then a regular Quaddle came in and wiped out the sword birds. So the whole thing kind of just spiraled downhill, where it was a sort of a bunch of inconvenient things all happening at once for him, and he wasn't ever able to really get back into the game. So I was able to score 31 on Maelstrom and end my day in my event 4-1, which I was very happy with. Will was excellent. He seemed to be doing much better on day 2. Definitely going to give Will a 10 as well. Big shout out to him. That was a really fun game, and I would love to play it again just to see if it kind of balances back out a little bit. So one of those where it's like hard to tell how that actually goes if you're not waiting till turn 4 to get 2 mediums in.
Oh, glad to hear.
But that was my 5 rounds.
Yeah, well done. And you came in 6th, right?
Yes, after all the strength of schedule, I came in 6th. Definitely happy with that. Like I said, my goal was 3-2. 4-1 exceeds that, so it was a great time. Pleased with how that turned out.
Well done. I'm really glad. Peter, who did you play round 5?
I played Mercurial Mark, the Vanguard from Cincinnati. He was playing a City States list. Kind of a mid-meta best you can do with City States with where they're at right now. The weird things that he had like clock lights. But as we'll get to it in the mission, like they didn't even show up. So Mark, thanks, Apex. So Mark's a really great player. I love playing with him. I think we both got most of our lights in. And Mark just kind of rocketed stuff off the board. I moved my werewargs on the flanks to be the hard sides of the Horns of the Bull. And I put my my stalkers in the middle to kind of just anticipate what he was doing to try to get ready to start shooting and hopefully start chipping away at chariots. Was not expecting what Mark was going to do. He moved in for, I forget the distance, but he moved in, so he had it on turn 2. He had a 5-up charge with, I believe, his Thorakites, rolled 1 and a 3, and then so obviously he failed the charge, and then I was able to get into the side of them with unactivated werewargs and exploded them. And then the next turn he tried to do the same thing again with his big brick of phalangites. He failed, and then I got into them with the same werewarg unit, and at that point it might have been trolls or it was something else. And then that exploded, and then after that he just asked to talk it out. So we ended our game on round 3. I think I actually beat Apex's speed record at Adepticon this year. It was like a half hour. It was a half-hour game.
21 goes salute.
Yeah, ended up being 40-1. So.
Damn. Do you?
I love playing Mark though. Sorry, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mouse.
No, that's good. Do you think he could have taken his time maybe a little bit more and gotten to a better position before going for these long bombs?
Yeah, I think if he had waited, because that was kind of my my turn 2 was kind of the worst reinforcement curve I'd experienced that game. So I had a bunch of stuff that wasn't, well, I had 2 things that weren't coming in. And so I think if he had just waited a little bit longer, I think he even admitted it. He likes playing really aggressive and kind of going for those kind of like insane plays that if they work out, it's really cool and it can get some tempo going for him. I think a lot of us were also just really tired at the end, so maybe he was just kind of ready to let's either win this hard or finish this game quick, and he was just kind of ready to do that. It just unfortunately didn't work out. He failed 2 charges that he needed to make, and then kind of saw what the positioning was looking like and just kind of decided to hey, let's just talk this game out. And then we talked about re-racking just to play for fun, but we ended up having enough judge calls that it was just easier to just kind of wander both halls and make sure everything was going smoothly.
Oh, it's good to hear. Well, congratulations on your win. I hope Mark takes the advice and the knowledge after that game into his future games, because it's good advice. Like, you set yourself up for success, and he had the time to set himself up for it.
I don't think it was. I mean, I didn't give him the advice during the game. Like, he knew that he was doing unoptimal things.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to try for like some cool flashy plays for a final round. But no, Mark is a great player. I love playing with him. His community is amazing. I would rate him definitely like a 9 out of 10 player to play with. He's really fun to play with. No,
it's great to hear. Well done, Peter. You also won second place after that game.
I did.
So you did very well on a 40-person event, and you got a bunch of world's points for that.
Yep.
Carl, who'd you play round 5?
I kind of want to hear you talk about it.
Well, I gotta do my own freaking battle report about it.
Yeah, I know, but you can start giving teasers in here, and then I can just give my own opinion.
No,
I'm curious.
You have to talk about it.
I'll talk about it, but you can go first.
What are you? Oh my god, I know you're playing a video game. You're playing Warhammer Dawn of War Definitive Edition.
Well, yeah, but I've been doing that while I've been talking throughout.
I know.
I'm genuinely curious, and I want to hear it.
Oh my god. All right, so you were playing your anti-Euronis SK tech. I saw your list. I liked it, and then so what we're playing again? Playing Maelstrom. So there is we set the scenario. We probably should have shuffled the terrain on the table, because the only thing that really mattered in the middle table was this hill. Well, it's fine, but like we probably should have shuffled it, but it's whatever. But like, how you played the list was really interesting to me, because like you had the Imperial Officer and the Ranger Corps auto in. You had a Water Mage and Merc Crossbow as your free pick, and then you didn't get the other one. But you were going to get the next turn, because that was going to be your auto on, and you've double flanked Hunter Cadre. So you actually have a really smooth reinforcement curve, even if both even the second Merc Crossbow doesn't show up. And then your turn 3, you're going to get a Gilded and a Steel, and then like a 2 down for your last Steel. What not necessarily is bad if it doesn't come on turn 3, just because of the Vanguard from the Imperial Officer. So I really liked how that list came out and rolled on the table. Surprisingly, like, it doesn't look like it's going to come out really weird and doesn't have a ton of flank, but it like does with the Imperial Officers and the Hunter Cadre, and it pulls out really smoothly. I liked how you deployed it. You set yourself with, like, Gilded Legion in the middle, hopping the Merc Crossbows you put in the middle. Like, you move the Merc Crossbows up aggressively, and then just back them off, so that you could, if let's say your opponent came up really aggressively, you can punish them. And if not, you could get them behind the Guild Legion and have that Water Mage healing them up. What was kind of a pain in the ass, because as the game went on, I got that Guild Legion down to 1 stand, and you healed it back up to like 4 stands, and I had to keep doing work to kill it off. So, really good there. The Imperial Ranger Corps with the other Imperial Officer with Art of War, just flexing around. Yeah, you also had Art of War, so you actually had 13 cards, basically. And as the game went on, you just stopped using Art of War because it just didn't matter anymore. Like, it was work time. The Hunter Cadre on the flanks being able to, and also 5 on, like, was a massive gun threat. Especially in the stuff that's bigger, you can if something gets aggressive with you, you have the Merc Crossbows with the Chapter Mage who heals behind or close by the other Hunter Cadre. So any chip damage coming in them heals up was a really nice play. Steel Legion support. The Hardened one actually like made them a lot more viable than what I would have given them credit for, to be honest. I do think they are still 10 points overcosted, but that's not the end of the world.
100%. Steel were, I would say about 10 points overcosted. They did so much work for me across the entire tournament, though. I've become quite fond of them. That Imperial Supremacy turn is brutal for them. Yeah. And then the Hardened one works against a surprising amount of stuff, especially when they're healing.
Yeah.
This was like a major dice spike, so like not to be really taken into account, but against Mark, I passed 5 out of 8 saves on ones against a Thyrian in the Thoras that they would not have had to. They would not have been able to save any of those without that hardened one.
And yeah, no, and that kept them alive, and you just heal them up and you get back to work. Yeah, and even like their little bit of cleave too, and their 5 attack space, like they'll do work. Also, like your deck building, there's tons of times where I'd do something, and Karl would have his deck built to like draw the next card and be the counter for that play. Like he just knew what I was gonna do at what time, and he had a counter already set up for it. And times where he was like dead drawing, it was like usually Mark Crossbows or the Chapter Mages where we're gonna cast like Obscuring, or they were gonna like heal off some chip damage from the round before. So there were fine like places in the decks that just kind of stall out. So yeah, I was really surprised by Karl's ability to build a deck. It's really good. Why are you making me talk, dude? Like, it's your game.
No, it's a funny one. No, I like to hear it, or the opponent perspective. Yeah, that's why I actually like a lot of those.
Do you want me to talk about the things I think you could improve on?
Up to you, sure.
Okay. Karl needs sticks. That's one. Karl also needs to roll his dice either in the middle of the table or a place his opponent can see. It's like Karl gets antsy and he like thinks faster than his hands move, so he's got to like show his dice more. And that's it. Like, those are very easy things that Karl
playing very fast when I'm tense.
Yes, and I don't know why you were so tense. I was so like, relax, man. We're just doing the game. Like we're having fun. Like we didn't even play it with Claw.
No, it's a game that I can lose, which means I'm tense because there's not a lot of games at any given tournament that I can lose. Which is why they're fun. But yeah, no, I think I don't know. Did you actually fall for the bait declined flank, or am I just tooting my own horn there?
Probably, like I was playing horns. There was a move where I moved my Golter in the middle after he killed off one Stalkers. That was a bad play on my end. I should have had them further back, but I wanted to like see if I get the drop on you. My rights like onto your Gilded Legion that moved up to the middle. I should have kept them back a little bit more and like rolled for it, but like I know when like stuff hits the wall, my charges fail me, so I wanted to have a secure charge, and I feel like I gave up a Golder. Also, the Golder that was in the woods, I should have rotated it more so that I could still see you no matter what, instead of you trying to hide, like, you know, make it harder for you to hide, because I was trying to use that Golder to like shoot out and hit the Hunter Cadre and like keep them back more, but instead I should have probably done that, and as well had them be able to collapse on your Gilded Legion better, like with a charge clash instead of a reform charge. And then also my Raiders, I didn't need to be as aggressive with my Raiders, and I should have just kept them back more to have more frontage on the right side so things could move a lot more fluidly over there, because I got a little stuck at one point just because I didn't allow myself to twist. If I went forward I could fit, but I couldn't twist to see stuff really well, and that was a mistake on my end. The left side kind of went the way as expected, especially when you drop both Steel Legion over there. But the right side not being able to unpack out into the right side not being able to pack out into the Gilded Legion, and instead having the second unit of Stalkers to like take the Gilded Legion hit instead of the Golter would have been better for me. And I think those are some like identifiable mistakes on my end into that game, like right off the bat, to make it better for me. You get my drift?
Yeah. Ooh. Nope, 100% makes sense. I think, it was the big one was just the fact that I was able to get that secure objective, so I was double capping both of them.
Yeah, that was
while you were only getting that single cap, because then I think you win that attritionally.
Yeah, because like I had your Gilded Legion down to one stand left, and if I had that, like, a little bit of extra damage, or if that other Golder unit got into you before you killed them, let's say like maybe the Supremacy, I win that. I killed the Gilded Legion, and then the Sea Otnar and a Golter is getting into your like juicy stuff, like all the D1 and E2 stuff, and it starts to cascade.
Yeah, definitely. Like those 100k lists are very fragile, and when they start giving a lot, and stuff just starts vanishing.
Yeah. I'm gonna let this record. I gotta go quickly get up. And do you want to talk about the game from your perspective, please?
Sure. Matt. Mass played very well, I think, overall. The real cinch was when I won. It was advantaged, but I won Supremacy on 5. Because, yeah, the big thing is none of us scored until 4. We were playing very cautious with each other because we were just at about the same card count for most of the game. So we really had to play very cagey with each other because there wasn't, like, his list was 13 cards, mine is 12 plus Art of War. So really, we're kind of just riding it out. And trying not to overcommit anything. The Gilded being able to tank charges from basically anything in his list gave me a lot of flexibility to kind of work with, and that's when I started getting my advantage and started pushing onto zones pretty hard. And that was huge for my side, but all in all, we each won a flank. I won the center, but then he eventually kind of worked his way around, and he was actually going to win attritionally just because by the time I'd spent all my gas, I didn't have anything that could really finish off his last unit of trolls. So if we'd played 15 turns, he would have tabled me on like 12 or 13 and then scored out.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, all around solid game. I'd give it a solid 8.59.
Yay, thank you. No, I think at one point when we were playing, you're like, can we call it? I'm like, no, we gotta play it out. I gotta keep killing shit.
I was gonna ask you just if you wanted to, but that's also because like most Eric and I played all the way through, and that was really fun. I wasn't able to table him, although I also didn't table Mass. So 2 games where I didn't table.
No, it's
that stuff's fun because close games are fun.
Yeah,
So I was wandering while you two were playing, and there was a point at which I'm pretty sure there was like 1 stand of Gilded left, and then I went over to the other side, and when I came back, I'm pretty sure there were like 4 stands of Gilded. Like, how much did you heal those things?
so
Probably about 20. I think they got like 5 turns of healing,
it's fucking
and they were
annoying.
usually healing about 4 or 5.
I hate it.
Yeah, like 32 wound regiment goes up to 55 because attunement 4 is on a healing spell is certainly something.
It doesn't scale. The spell doesn't scale.
Well, to be fair, healing spells you don't necessarily want to scale. It's the buff spells that need to. But
I think the more egregious thing is that it's attunement 4.
yeah, like especially in the SK, it's like I was like, oh yeah, so the Gilded Legion heal 4. He's like, oh, was that with interference? And I'm like, yup.
Is it? I haven't checked her heal spell, the tiers. Is it? It's not like the Vulva healing where it's 1 plus the heal. You just roll the dice and that's whatever you get, but it's on 4s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were usually healing about.
It's not even 1 plus. It's just whatever you get.
Yeah, because I think you were healing about like 3-4 wounds on average, but then every once in a while, I think you hit a 5, and I was like, oh, my life is terrible. No, it was a really good game.
Yeah.
I would like to play you in person more because TTS is it's hard TTS, but like
yeah, TTS is not fun.
I enjoyed our game a lot in person. Like it was a lot cleaner and it was a lot smoother.
Absolutely, TTS can be a nightmare at times for sure.
Yeah, when we get an upgrade? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, no one knows.
That's all our games. Steve, you kind of jumped in late, sadly, and we've kind of gone over all the games. Is there anything you want to say or anything you want to bring up in particular?
I don't know. I'm not sure it was covered other than going through all the games.
We talked about the brothers. We talked about the store.
So I guess I'll just.
And the hosting, and also
We gassed you up running the event.
Yeah, we did that. You got rizzed.
Yeah.
You aura farmed using these like.
Yeah, man, you did so much work. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aura fart.
Well, on the topic of aura farming, the problem with the competent jerseys is that when you know that your first game that day, like it's like cool pairings are up, and I look and it's like, oh, it's Karl. Well, I can't aura farm Karl with the jersey, so.
Maybe we should start wearing the jerseys on day 1 like Conquerors hockey, because we basically just play each other on day 2.
Whenever I do that, I'm punished for my hubris.
We can't do that. The hubris is too strong. The Greeks knew that.
Oh god, the kid's back to finish Steve off.
No, No, okay, quick aside. When the kid walked in the door with his dad, Carl was behind him, and he's just making this. Oh damn it! I'm gonna put this in the chat, Matt. If you feel like it, you can put this up for the listeners later at this like timestamp. But Carl just gives me this fucking look that looks like. Okay, where I know it's in my folder here. Oh well, shit! I'm an idiot. I'll send it later, but basically it's like that shit-eating chihuahua grin. And he's just grinning at me, with eyes like half-lidded. Just, he's so fucking pleased with himself, and then I'm just giving him this, like, look of, it's I don't know, it's a powerful blend of, like, contempt and just, are you fucking kidding me?
For context, this is the same kid that took Steve out at Adepticon, and then
when I found out he was at the Indiana GT, I just made a post saying, "Oh God, the kid's back to finish the job."
Didn't Lord Daddy Kang get the kid round 2 or something? Or round 2?
Round 1, I believe.
Oh,
I think he
Jesus.
started his day with the young man.
see, Lord Daddy Kang will always be ready to avenge a friend.
Lord Daddy King has 2 children. He's ready to deal with another child.
Indeed.
Actually, the game into Mather is super fun.
Okay, there we go. That is in the chat. This is the fucking face Carl was making.
Jesus, save that.
Wait, which chat are we in here?
In the call chat.
GRG shit.
Oh geez, I'm not even. No, here we go. Open chat. Nice.
I can confirm that is basically true.
What a monster.
Demon behavior.
Absolute
Steve.
savagery.
This is maidenless behavior.
But no, it's Carl just going feral again. It's fine.
God. He's breached containment.
That's Ian calling me out for it when he hands me the silver trophy.
Oh Lord.
All right. Is anyone have anything else to say? Like, I feel like that was a good episode. Covered all the rounds. Talked about the event.
Distinct, swift. I think this is one of the faster run-throughs of a tournament we've done.
Yeah, but also we all have to go to bed because someone drove a lot.
Although I will say, we have to go to bed. But also, I didn't have to rant for like 20 minutes on my opponent giving me his full army lore description when I'm trying to get him to like fucking roll for reinforcements.
Please.
You don't understand. Like when we play in person, Carl, because you and I have not played. We're gonna meet at an event, and I am going to just off the cuff just start going about some bullshit made up on the spot lore for my probably 7 quaddle at this point, and just like fiddle with the die instead of rolling.
He's gonna
filibuster
the whole
At that
event.
point, yes.
Spend 30 minutes talking about your OC.
Yeah, you're gonna just reach across the table and slap me. It's gonna happen. So no, I'm gonna
No
No,
chess
what-
flux either.
What I imagine happens is that the more time you waste, the more feral he gets to end the game with enough time to spare. So like he will just go like full knives out at that point.
Good.
He
So
just enters a
I
fugue
want
state. He wakes up and there's just blood everywhere.
to throw another shout out just to the event. Like, we started with it, and like I know it coincided with the store's 5th year, so Ian wanted to make this like a big deal, and it really was. But like, I think everybody got, some sort of prize support. A ton of people got shout outs for, faction and paint, and it was great. Like the whole weekend was great. So just big shout out to everybody involved with the planning and execution now that you both are here. So
Yeah, there was a ton of prize support.
It was awesome.
Glad you had a good time.
Absolutely. Would go back. Definitely. At least 7 out of 10 would return.
I'll take it.
Give that an 8.5. Easy.
You give it an 8. And what did Karl give you in your game? An 8.5? Yeah, we'll do that.
Almost a
8.5.
9. So it's like an 8.8.
Because I don't rate on opponents, I rate on the game itself. And so I think the only 10s that I've given were Ben at Elvio and Brian at Adepticon.
But yeah, those are your like hardest matchups in most grueling games.
Yeah, no, both of those I've lost, but they've been insanely close and very fun losses.
No, those games should be your 10 out of 10s because it shows there's growth or there's more to do.
Indeed.
Always
more to conquer.
So Steve and Peter, would you like to plug anything before the end of the episode? Home store.
Steve, you want to plug our next CWE?
Yeah, there we go.
So coming up, we have one tentatively scheduled for October 19th, is it?
Believe so.
I just as an aside, I think that might coincide with someone else's thing, so we might have to just talk with Ian real quick to see like what the schedule looks like. But tentatively October 19th. Unfortunately, it is not going to be an anniversary-sized one, so it will not be 40 people, probably. And we will certainly not have quite the level of prize support. We do have some good stuff, though. We've got, off the top of my head, I think we still have, like, a Terraphon, some Kappa, and, like, 4 or 5 other boxes of stuff kicking around, in addition to whatever else we scrounge up by then, so it's a good time.
I've got start collecting boxes, cohorts, some Founders exclusives that we'll be having for it, so they'll still be good prize support, just won't be as crazy as this one.
You won't be walking away with a quarter of your army for prize support.
Dude, you can get a
It still cracks me up that I won another Quaddle. Yeah, I won another Quaddle playing 5 Quaddle. I love it.
Johnny 8
I'm going to
It's the
have
funniest shit I've ever seen.
I mean,
I'm going to have to.
It's like giving a guy a gun so he can mug you with it.
I got my 4th night at St. George.
Did you actually get a 4th?
No, I thought you did. You get that? I thought you went to grab it, and you're like, "No, I'm just screwing with you guys. I'm gonna take something else."
Robbie gave me his.
Oh my god, Robbie!
Oh,
This man is gonna run an MSU in character of all St. George's as a household night unit. Just watch.
No, it's gonna be Steel Temple. It's gonna be great.
That's gonna be amazing.
The big block of Steel Temple is all St. George's.
Yeah, that's my goal. That's my goal.
I
suppose
one.
This is more. It is more doable to have an entire warband of St. George's than it is to have an entire warband of Brood.
It's more doable.
I have one Brood short of that.
Similar flex.
I have thought about finding the 3rd Brood, but they're still so expensive. But I would flex the MSU Broods.
Dude,
that's just, you have to.
Degenerate Sex Chinchilla. If you go into the conventions, I believe it's Amulet 20. They have a Brood for their Amulet D20 in Europe, October 4th and 5th. In Slovenia.
They get all the rare shit in Europe.
So
I mean, you already have all the Quaddles, Apexes, and Tauntors you could ever field. So you might as well move on to Brood for the next stage of the.
You could go
operation.
there, win a Brood. They have messaged me. They want me to run through lists, and I said, "When are you doing their list?" They're like a week before, and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be real fun." Because this thing is like 40 lists I have to go through because they want to like Twitch stream it, and in between rounds they want me to like read and talk about lists, and I'm like, I am very excited to do that.
Do you want to do lists together? I love that shit.
Just get everybody to start doing lists together.
Yes.
Get the entire of America.
I want to do lists too. I feel like I can get really good positive feedback. The gentleman DM'd me like a couple months ago. I said I was very interested and wanted to do it. It's something like if it plans out and works out, I will 100% do it. And he said more the merrier. So like we'll get Cass on just to go wild with takes. So I think that'll be fun. We'll get you guys on and like. Yeah, we'll go over the list.
Oh, I need to get in touch with Cass because Cass has a Quaddle she no longer desires, and I have Euroni. I would be willing to send her.
You can literally just DM her. You're in the same channel.
That will get me. That will get me the max Quaddle. Yeah,
Cast-
7 is the
Right.
most you can run, and I have a list that's like 13 cards, and it's nothing but like Quaddle and Hunting.
Yeah, we were driving through Chicago and Apex was just
Jesus.
making Quaddle lists. Johnny ate Quaddle over
Yeah.
here.
Johnny 8 Quaddle. I think I posted it in one of the. It might be in the Competent Discord in the Woodroon channel. Like, I really actually want to play it. And I requested Karl to tell me it was bad, so I wouldn't do it, and then he opted not to do that. So
You know it's good.
Oh, yeah, I love
now I have to.
The fact is, I can be a sweaty comp player and love meme lists. It's kind of a problem,
It's like you're a
because then I've convinced
is.
people that some meme lists are good.
well,
The 5 Quaddle has treated me well. Like there is decidedly like a level of player that just can look at it and be like, okay, I know what I need to do into this. But there is so much where it's just so weird to look across the table and just see like, 6 monsters and 5 of them are M9 flight. It's a meme, but it's a meme you can get a lot of like mileage out of, and it's super fun to play. So that's my shout out on the janky Quaddle spam.
well, Milla Ninja, your local Vanguard, wants to play it into you, so shout out to him for taking Bird.
Yes, he gives me a hard time about the bird lists. So, and that every list I ever run has just a ton of monsters in it because of who I am as a person. So.
Do you need to name your Quaddles individually, like you name your pets? Because we know you live on a farm and you've named them all like Stormy McStormerson. Like you have like all your pets' full names are wild.
Starmathy James.
Yeah, there we go. Like
Yeah.
what's Scroll's name? The big dog. He's like Scrollsifer.
Skullsifer Lee. Yeah, Skullsifer Lee.
Yeah. It's just you need to do your Quaddle like that.
And he didn't even maul you that much.
Perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. Well, no, I still
so
I also have a
Skull-
scratch down my left arm from last year.
Well, that's because you're weak and your bloodline is weak. He didn't even maul you that much this.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
A giant. What? He's a livestock guardian dog, right?
The thing kills possums.
Yeah, he's half Tibetan Mastiff. He's half Tibetan Mastiff, half Great Pyrenees. So he's like 140 pounds a dog.
Yeah. So
He's
the guardian
massive.
dog decided your bloodline was weak.
Like, Karl, the thing is as big as you when you're on all fours.
I'm impressed.
He is massive. So, like you're a German Shepherd guy, right, Karl?
Oh yeah. Oh
Did
yeah.
I remember that correctly? So,
Yes.
my wife's family has female German Shepherds in like normal size, and he dwarfs them. They come up to like his shoulder.
I
It's
believe
just,
it.
like it is an unreal sized dog, and like I knew he was going to be big when we got him, but not this big. So it's a little bit different for me because this is easily the biggest dog I've ever had. Yeah, he didn't even jump on Mass too bad because last year was like right after Mass hurt his knee, and I was worried Skull was just going to break Mass.
He understands I am not food.
What? Friend, not food.
Yeah, Fred.
If not food, why food shaped?
If not food, why food shaped?
I'm like more worried about his cats
Oh,
than his dog because like I'll be dead in 5 hours if I don't take reactive with his
Right.
cats around. I don't even have to
Yeah.
touch them. Yeah,
But no, the cats left you alone. We were all right.
I'm glad. Thank you.
We were mostly outside, except Tiago.
Except Tiago. Apex, do you have anything to plug?
No, I don't think so. Well, you know what? At the August 30th, the Minnesota crew, Mike made it down to the GRG event. He's the Vanguard there in Rochester. Is having their first official CWE. They got 12 signups. I'll be going to that one with them, but exciting to see them kind of grow their meta. Now, this side of the Midwest doesn't have nearly the developed player base that you see out in Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan, but it's all been kind of growing pretty well. So that's exciting to see for them.
That's good to hear. And Karl, do you have anything to plug?
Hios. I don't know.
Sweet. We're going to Hios.
Oh,
Yeah, that's about it.
I guess one last thing to plug that I think about it. Is it also in October? When's the GT this year? Is it late September or mid October?
Hold on.
I believe mid-October.
Events.
For the Michigan?
We have the Michigan GT.
October 3rd and 5th, 2025. Lanningen
October
Center.
3rd and 5th. Yes. So there's the Michigan GT. It'll be held in Lansing, Michigan. I think that just due to the property holders, whoever owns the actual convention, I think that there's a little bit more limited space this year. But if you're in the area, especially the Midwest, definitely feel free to swing by and join us in on that. Lansing's close enough to where I went to, university, so I know some places that are probably still open for good food. Just get a few games and have a good time.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
Peter, do you have anything to plug? Or is it just kind of like you and Steve?
I plugged our CWE. That's
good.
what's important to me, at least.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on. I'm glad we had a chat about our games and Golden Rhino G. I just call it Golden Rhino GT.
I think Steve has coined the GRGT. I like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Golden Rhino Grand Tournament. That's easy enough.
Yes. So GRGT, fun event. If it happens every year, to be honest, I'd go down. It was great. And for BonkTable,
I know Ian does want to do it next year, so
he does or does not.
And hopefully now that we've I assume Peter said does. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
does.
no,
hope so.
Yeah, Ian plans on doing it next year, and he's hoping to increase the size of it too. So
Sweet.
sorry to
Yeah,
tease there.
I also think that now that we know we can do it, and more importantly, we bought a bunch of additional mats and markers, and we had to be a little thin on terrain, but knowing that we did it this year, we have a whole year to plan for the other one, so we'll definitely make sure that we scale accordingly so that we can make it bigger and better next year and iron out some of the kinks. And if anyone's listening that attended, again, if you have any feedback, good, bad, indifferent, any comments, just drop us a line in Discord or however you want to reach us, and we'll make sure it makes its way, and we'll put everything into consideration and see if we can make the event better and better.
Yeah.
I'm glad. All right, with that, I want to thank everyone here. So Karl, Steve, Peter, and Apex, you guys all did fantastic, and thank you very much for joining me today. For BonkTable plugs, we have the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. There's battle reports. There's other weird, funny stuff that I produce, and also these podcasts are there. You can also find this podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your stuff. There's Cassandra's Twitter, and then there's Cassandra's secret Twitter. That's where the real stuff is. It's messed up. You got to go find it yourself. And I want to give a big thanks to the new devs and for being really open and coming down to GRG and listening to a ton of feedback and being really positive with the game. I'm excited for the future of Conquest after chatting with them. I think they did a fantastic job. So with that,
Absolutely.
bye.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.